Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. In this update, we're going to check out ICP's price chart and see what is going on, and we are going to specifically talk about the scenario that we talked about in the previous update. And as I'm sure you have seen it by now, it's not necessarily playing out, and I'm trying to, in this update, explain what is going on and what might be the next likely move. But before we get into all that good stuff, real quick, we are going to talk about some fundamentals about ICP. And in the previous update, if you remember, we talked about the first half of this very important tweet from Dominic Williams, which is all about caffeine version 3 update, which by the way is now live. It's amazing, and of course it still needs some work, but overall I would say this is definitely a job well done. And I think now we should talk about the second half of this important tweet, because there are some very fascinating points in what Dominic Williams is saying. So, are we ready? Let's dive in and see what is going on. And this is actually the part that things get in it a bit more serious, because up until now, we were talking mainly about making app building a bit easier with artificial intelligence. But here, okay, the focus actually shifts completely. This is where Dominic Williams is basically saying we are not playing in the crypto space anymore. Instead, we are going after global cloud market, and we are talking about competing with huge names, like for example, you're not going to believe it, Amazon Web Service, AWS, and also Google Cloud. Now, let's talk first about cloud engines, because in case you don't know what is going on, I feel like I should explain to you what is happening so you get the idea a little bit better. You see, the main problem for companies right now is quite simple. They do not trust public blockchains, not because of their security. No, the security of the blockchains are actually quite good. However, that's not really the big problem. Their big issue is actually coming down to control, because they need to know exactly where their data is stored, especially with laws like GDPR. Not only they need to know, they have to know. Okay, it's very important to understand that. Now, traditional blockchains don't really give them that control. So in here, the idea for ICP is to introduce something new called cloud engines, and you need to think of it like maybe a normal cloud dashboard similar to something like AWS, but underneath of it all, it's actually fully decentralized. And because of this trick that ICP is trying to pull, a company can literally choose which nodes run their application, which country the data stays in, and adjust it anytime that they want, while at the same time they're going to be able to benefit from the upside of the blockchain world as well. Now, here is where things get a bit fascinating. You see, these applications can also auto scale, meaning if traffic is going to increase, the network simply is going to add more nodes. And that means basically what? Number one, no downtime. Number two, no manual setup. And also companies can switch between infrastructure providers without shutting anything down, which is awesome. And that's actually something even traditional cloud systems at the moment at least struggle with quite a bit. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Internet Intelligence Network, or IIN, and we talked about this also in the previous update as well. So I'm just going to real quick explain it and move past this part. You see, this is all about artificial intelligence. The problem today is that running artificial intelligence, number one, is quite expensive, and number two, much more important than that, you have to actually trust the provider completely. Basically, if you are using something like, for example, ChatGPT or Google Gemini, you have no way to verify that the output hasn't been modified or maybe influenced somehow. Now, ICP here is trying to solve both issues, and with the first one, meaning cost, IIN uses distributed hardware to reduce AI inference costs significantly compared to centralized providers. And second, this is actually the big one, because they are talking about the idea of verifiable artificial intelligence. And it essentially means when you get an answer from an artificial intelligence model, the network can actually prove that the output is correct and also hasn't been altered. No hidden changes, no manipulation. So what you are looking at here is essentially a system where companies can run applications store data, and even to a degree process AI, all in a way that is number one, controlled, number two, scalable, and number three, much more important than those things, very much verifiable. And that, my friends, is a very different direction compared to typical crypto projects that we are seeing at the moment. Now, let's talk a little bit about the bigger picture in here as well, because this is where everything comes together and the real impact is going to show itself. You see, question is, what does all of this actually change for ICP and Definity as a company? First, this I think is going to completely change ICP's identity. You see, what Dominic Williams is describing here is a system that replaces a big part of how companies run their infrastructure today. And just think about it real quick. Companies right now are spending a bunch of money on DevOps teams. And these are the people who keep servers running. Number two, handle security. Number three, fix downtime and also manage updates. This process is very much expensive, and also it actually never stops, meaning what? You constantly have to spend a whole lot of money. Now, with ICP's cloud engine, the idea is quite simple. A lot of that work hopefully is going to disappear, and the system is going to be able to run automatically, meaning apps are not really going to go down easily, and security is built into the architecture. So instead of managing servers, companies just deploy and let the network handle the rest, which is going to save them a whole lot of money. And this, my friends, is one very, very key reason for why I think in the mid to long term down the line, ICP is going to attract a whole lot of adoption. If you have cutting edge tech, great, but as long as you're not saving any cost, unfortunately, that's a reality. You're not really going to have a whole lot of adoption. So because ICP is able to save companies a whole lot of money, I do think they are going to be successful in attracting partners. Now, let's add the AI layer on top as well, because as AI starts getting used in serious areas, like for example, healthcare or maybe finance, trust is going to become a real problem. Why is that? Simple reason actually. You cannot simply rely on an artificial intelligence if there's like even a very teeny tiny chance that the output was changed somewhere along the way when it comes to healthcare and also finance. And this is where verifiable AI, like we talked about earlier, comes in clutch. ICP here is trying to make AI outputs provable. So when an AI gives you the answer, you can actually verify that it hasn't been manipulated or tampered with. And that, my friends, is a big deal for any system where accuracy matters. Now, let's talk about why this could also be very much bullish in the long term for, specifically ICP token. You see, the main point here is a scale, because ICP, again, is trying to go after global cloud market, which is absolutely massive. And by the way, to this day, it is still absolutely growing. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Let's not say ICP is going to attract all the adoption. No, let's not be that optimistic and maybe even that stupid. Let's just say this. Even like a very small share of that market, I think would actually mean a huge increase in usage. And this, again, connects directly to the token model. For those of you who are new viewers to the channel and you don't really know a whole lot about ICP, it's very important to understand that on internet computer, everything runs on something called cycles, and to get those, you need ICP tokens. Now, once those tokens are used, they are going to get burnt. So essentially, the more network is used, the more tokens are going to be removed from circulation. And let's just, again, real quick, imagine this whole situation at a scale. Companies running full applications, storing data, and using artificial intelligence continuously. That, in my mind, translates to constant demand for computing power. And all of that translates to what? Continuous ICP burn in the background. So again, if we're going to burn a whole lot of ICP tokens and get them out of the circulation, and overall, let's just say demand is going to increase even just like a teeny tiny bit. Well, you know what? That's the perfect formula for massive price appreciation for the token. Now, of course, these developments are not really going to cause a massive jump effective immediately tomorrow. Absolutely not. We are talking about the mid to long term picture. And again, overall, if you believe in this project, I think in the next couple of years, we are going to make a whole lot of money. So fundamental wise, it seems like that ICP is 100% on the right direction, and they are aiming for one of the biggest markets in the world. And I do think, again, they are going to attract quite a bit of adoption because, simple reason, they are trying to save companies a lot of money. Now, having said all this, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on in the mid and also short term. Okay, here we are on the live chart, and something actually different happened than we talked about in the previous video. Because if you remember, in the previous update in ICP, we talked about the idea of from here getting yet another move on the downside, and we said at least this thing cannot necessarily be a bit of a bearish sign. Why? Because you probably know what I'm about to say, and you are also bored of hearing it, but hey, since these days, every single time that I make new updates, roughly around 60 to 70% of you guys are new viewers, I feel like I should explain what I'm doing in order for you to understand what is going on the live chart as is Elliot's wave voice a little bit better. You see, in terms of Elliot's, if you want to argue, we're going to have some sort of a low, not necessarily even our final one in here, then okay. You need to be able to find off of the lows a 5 wave on the upside. This specific scenario is called an impulse. Rules for it are we should not have overlapping of the waves between our waves 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, our wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. And for the sub waves, you know it, we're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for our corrective movements for wave 2 and 4, we can consider different possibilities. Let's just say this one is an ABC followed by a WXY into 4. Now, here's a very important point. Just because we're going to have a 5 wave off of the lows doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have our final low or generally even some sort of a low in here. No, this is, do not get me wrong, absolutely necessary, but it's not really enough. In fact, after a 5 wave up, one way or the other, bullish or bearish, we are going to get a bit of a move on the downside. And if this ends up being a bit of a slow and choppy move down, fair enough, at that point, this can be a bullish setup, suggesting hopefully from here, bare minimum, we are going to get yet another good move on the upside. Now, here's the deal. For our correction down, again, we can consider different possibilities. The one that we are maybe having in ICP is called an ABC expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into A. Correction for B, which in it we're going to take this initial high, followed by a decent move down into C, and in it we are going to take the low of our A leg. What if we are not going to take it, and for example, our C leg is going to end right in here? No problem at all. At that point, we just call this pattern, as opposed to an expanded flat, just a simple running flat structure. But nonetheless, sub waves are absolutely the same. Excuse me, what just happened? There we go. ABC down into A, ABC into B, followed by a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down into C. Now, let's go on the live chart and count some waves and so on a little bit more. There we go. So the idea on ICP was that from the lows, hopefully we are having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from here, and not the highest high in here, we are having a correction down, and we entertained in the previous video the idea of having an ABC expanded flat, and we said maybe we are in the wave 4 for our sub waves for C leg, hence why I said maybe we're gonna have yet bare minimum another move on the downside, and that one so far at least is not really playing out. But the question is, just because we got this decent actually move on the upside, this is somewhere like a 15% move, just because we got this thing, does this mean that we should right now flip absolutely bullish? No, I'm thinking it's a little bit too soon to be completely optimistic. However, this I think does open doors to maybe arguing this is a bit of a bullish setup, and instead of this point being the end of our wave 3, maybe we are having, excuse me, like from this point, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to about here into our wave 3, and then correction for 4. Okay, what just happened? Let's just say this one, and then another move down into our wave 5. So you see, one way or the other, I do think we are having an expanded flat. It's just a question of whether the end of our wave 5 is in here, or maybe we are not having our wave 5 yet. Now, if you want to be a bit optimistic and you want to say the low in ICP is already in, then okay. I think, like I said also in the previous video, finding an impulse in this phase up is like very challenging. That's why I want to argue from this point to about here. Nope, we absolutely do not have an impulse. And instead, here is what's going on in my mind. And you probably know what I'm about to say, right? I want to entertain the idea of having a 1-2 scenario, and the question is, how am I going to justify finding an impulse in here? Again, I'm gonna say probably from, believe it or not, this point, this is once more an ABC expanded flat, and in this initial small phase, yeah, I think I am able to find a 5 wave, and based on that, I'm gonna say probably in ICP, excuse me, let's just click this one, we are having a 1, 2, and then decent move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree, it's going to be into this wave 3 and then 4 and then 5, and even that one on a higher degree, it's going to be into what? You know what? This wave 3 and 4 and 5. Now, is the scenario likely? At the moment, I do have my doubts a little bit. However, I think this is essentially the best that we can come up with if we are insisting on being bullish on ICP. And this, by the way, one way or the other, gives you a very important invalidation point. Because even if you want to say, for example, this 1-2 is not happening, and instead maybe this is the end of our wave 1, followed by some sort of a running flat into wave 2, once more, even according to this scenario, our invalidation point is the same. So please pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. If in ICP, from these areas, or maybe even just a little bit higher, doesn't really matter, we end up getting a bit of a strong move down in order to take this very important low, about, let's say, $2.3. At that point, I'm gonna say there is really hardly any shot of us finding a 5-8 in here, suggesting what? Yep, unfortunately, this is still a corrective movement, meaning from here we can get a bit of a continuation of our move down in order to once more take the lows as well, and then hopefully in here we are going to hit our final low, at least the low of this whole correction, in form of an ABC flat in ICP. So again, if you want to be bearish in internet computer, what you want to see is a good, strong, impulsive move on the downside in order to take this low, and this could be your initial confirmation of the bearish scenario. On the other hand, if you want to be bullish, okay, in that case, going down from the current point is really not an option, and what you want to see is from here, or maybe like just a bit lower, a rather good move on the upside, then consolidation, then another move up, and followed by that, I think probably another consolidation and another move on the upside as well. Let's just wait a little bit more and see, are we going to get at least this initial move up or not? If we get it, it will be a good sign, since at that point we are going to have like clear-cut, undeniable overlapping of the waves with this one, and at that point I'm really hoping that in this phase we're going to take this important height of our wave 2 as well, about $2.8, meaning what? At that point, yep, pretty much we have to absolutely argue that yes, this is indeed an ABC flat to about the lows, and our move up hopefully is going to continue. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in ICP's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.